Good morning, Pastor Jerry here from Crossroads Church, Cleburne. It's great to be with you today. I'm having some issues with my recordings on the computer, so I'm doing it via GoPro today, so I won't be able to put the words on the screen. Today's reading is Psalm 56. I love Psalm 56, especially in light of everything that's going on in America today with the election and just the uncertainty that's out there. The title, it's a Psalm of David, and the title is In God I Trust. So we can always put our trust in God. We can always rely upon Him. So now, if you would open your Bibles to Psalm 56, or if you would simply listen along, I'll read Psalm 56. Be gracious to me, O God, for man tramples on me. All day long an attacker oppresses me. My enemies trample on me all day long, for many attack me proudly. When I am afraid, I put my trust in you. In God, whose word I praise. In God I trust. I shall not be afraid. What can flesh do to me? All day long they injure my cause. All their thoughts are against me for evil. They stir up strife. They lurk. They watch my steps, as they have waited for my life. For their crime will they escape? In wrath cast down the peoples, O God. You have kept count of my tossings. Put my tears in your bottle. Are they not in your book? Then my enemies will turn back in the day when I call. This I know, that God is for me. In God, whose word I praise. In the Lord, whose word I praise. In God I trust. I shall not be afraid. What can man do to me? I must perform my vows to you, O God. I will render thank offerings to you. For you have delivered my soul from death. Yes, my feet from falling, that I may walk before God in the light of life. So that's Psalm 56, and I love Psalm 56. The last verse there, or the second to last verse, verse 12. Listen to what David says. I must perform my vows to you, O God. I will render thanks offerings to you. So he's performing for God. He's not performing for people. He's not performing for man, for an audience. He's performing for God, and that's how we should be. We should do our work for God. We should do it out of a result of a love relationship that we have with Him, that He's pouring into us, and we want to reciprocate that by loving Him with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength, and caring for His people and looking after and loving His people. So we're not to perform for anyone. We're not to perform or try to look good for any audience or any person, just for God alone. We have an audience of one. And then he says, after all this, where he says people are trying to trample him, people are coming against him, he says that I will render thank offerings to you. I know this is a month of Thanksgiving. This is a month that I've seen a lot of people on Facebook who have said they've had hard years, who have had very difficult times. I know for me personally, this has been one of the hardest years of my life, if not the hardest year of my life. And it's been very trying. And one of the things that we'll do in response to that, some of the things that people are doing on Facebook is writing a gratitude list. And if we can render thanks, if we can give thanks, if we can have an attitude of gratitude, then that will take us out of that despair, that will take us out of that fear, out of that frustration, out of that aggravation that we face in life. So if you're feeling that way, try to start a gratitude list. Write it each and every day, what you're grateful for, even if it's just 3 things that you're grateful for, or even just one thing that you're grateful for that day. It will really change your attitude. So I pray that this encourages you, that it strengthens you. Remember that I love you. I'm praying for you each and every day, and I look forward to when we're together again. So God bless you and keep you until that time.